Well, my guess is, based on our big tech discussions previously, Steve, the day I started dogging and trolling Ray Epps on Twitter is the day I got permanently suspended. Just saying. I don't know if there's a connection there or not. But no, I will lay out my professional judgment in three parts. First, Ray Epps was indeed an asset. He was placed on the most wanted list and removed. Gee, that doesn't happen without someone being arrested in the real world. Secondly, his behavior was very alerting and directly contradictory to what one would have thought of someone who was not an asset. He was Steve. He was acting with impunity. That tells me that
he was working the crowd. He was working the crowd like a carnival barker.
Right.
Now, hold on. Let me back up to something here that you just said. I want to focus on something you just said.
Sure.
Nobody gets off the most wanted list unless they get arrested. In your time, do you remember any other incident of somebody placed on the most wanted list and then removed and just sent home with no connection? Oh, it was a mistake. Have you ever seen that happen?
Not at all, especially when the evidence, to my second point we were just talking about, indicates he was acting to incite a riot. That is illegal, and he did it. And the third point, and most importantly, is obviously the Ted Cruz questioning of the FBI, the non-denial denials. Again, Steve, I've had to testify. I've been in closed sessions talking about highly classified stuff. It was very clear that the FBI had probably more than just Ray Epps involved. I would argue, based on my experience, they probably had about a dozen folks in various locations trying to work to do this. And let me cite something here that may not sit well with me bringing it up, but a guy named Anwar al-Awlaki, a guy who was an FBI informant, was involved in moving two of the 9/11 hijackers around before 9/11. Just saying, there's a pattern here of the FBI getting involved in things and either encouraging things or letting things get out of control. What I don't know is if the FBI directed them to go into the Capitol, if that somehow got out of control, or if that was something they intended to do.
Here's the question, and here's the only question that matters.
Right.
And the New York Times is now on this, and others are now on this. The only question that matters, the FBI, in your experience tells you, yes, they were involved. They had assets
Absolutely.
on the ground, Ray Epps and others. Why?
Well, that's the question of the day, Steve, is like, why? So I think I can assess the technical issues. I think you're going to find out my assessment's correct. I've been undercover with the FBI at least 3 separate times during my career, so I know how they operate. But the question becomes, who benefits? I think it's a better question. Who would benefit from the FBI taking a side and insinuating and involving themselves in what clearly became a riot? Who benefits? Well, I think it's very clear Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats, who, by the way, Nancy Pelosi and the Mayor Bowser said no to additional military and security forces from the Pentagon. Why would that be?
Several times.
Several times. So why would they say no to security forces, and who would benefit from a riot?